Hey Virgo, it's Honey Priestess. Welcome to my channel. I know this is the first reading for you guys that I'm ever doing, so I'm super excited. This is going to be the reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for November 2019. But if you're not a Virgo and you are not watching this in November 2019, you are still in the right place. I don't know why that was so hard for me to get through, but we're here. Any information that you need is in the description box below. Let's get started. So, we're starting with Oracle cards. I have Community here, number 7. Daughter Romance, 33, breaking down to a 6. Oops. The Garden and the Gate, 30, breaking down to a 3. Daughter Value, 31, breaking down to a 4. And at the bottom of the deck, we have 45, a man holding a heart. 45 breaking down to a 9. Okay, Virgo. What's going on here? What's going on here? Okay. Some of you guys are, I don't want to say you're absolutely falling in love with your friends. Like, it's not like a sure thing, but some of you guys might have a really close relationship with somebody that you're scared of taking to the next level. I'm going to be sick if this is a romance reading. But anyway. Ooh. Some of you guys are in contact with your exes, okay? Shit. Here y'all go. Okay. Some of you guys are in contact with your exes, and maybe you guys are keeping things copacetic and everything's been cool, and now they're coming around. Maybe they've gotten their footing, maybe they've come up, like maybe they've grown in some type of way, gotten more stability, and now they have an offer for you. Now they're like talking about getting back with you, or you might be thinking that you want to get back with them. Right? This is you being friends with them, and this is you, like, because you've been cordial with them. Now you're like, well, should I take a chance on this? Like, you're debating it, and you know you shouldn't do it, but you're like debating if it's worth the risk because they might have glowed up a bit. Like, this is almost like if they're not coming to you, this is almost you being like, should I shoot my shot and just see where it goes? You know, I don't feel like they were this stable when they were with you. So seeing them now is kind of like, oh, well, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted from you, right? They didn't get there with you. And there's reasons for that. And I'm not saying that in a shady way. I'm just saying. Now you're thinking about that. Yeah, under this we have Storm Warning, 10 breaking down to a 1, and All Tied Up, 23 breaking down to a 5. These 3 cards are telling me you're thinking about shooting your shot because you haven't really fully moved on, but you know it's a bad idea. Or them doing this with you. Let's put it like this. Whoever glowed up, the other person is thinking about shooting their shot. So if you're the person who glowed up, you're probably going to be getting this offer. If your ex is the one that glowed up, you're going to be like, ooh. They glowed up because they're not with you. And I am not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying that because it doesn't feel like they had this going for them when they were with you. It also kind of feels like you guys are better as friends and you're blocking your own opportunities to new love because you're not over this person. Some of you guys have actually manifested love for yourselves. Like, maybe you did your little new moon ritual or whatever. And you've been like you very clearly have prayed about this or communicated to the universe in some type of way that this is what you want. And now this person is glowed up and you're like, well, maybe. Like, it's almost like you're trying to press the issue because you're not really patient about it and it's blocking you, right? So now you're making people who should just be acquaintances or friends or whatever. Now you're looking at them different because you want them to be something. You want somebody to be something. Because either I feel like it was affirmed for you, like if you intentionally manifest this and you know it's going to happen. You know that. But maybe you weren't looking for it and somebody told you, maybe you saw a reading or you just felt somebody just came around and was like, you're great, you're going to find somebody really soon or whatever. I feel like there's some type of knowing that you have that this is coming. Okay? Either because you know you're in a good space for it or you know you manifested it, but you're being impatient and now you're about to force something that's not right for you. Or even if you don't follow through with forcing it, you're still stuck on them. The fact that you're even considering an ex who glowed up without you, or you glowed up after you, or you glowed up after them, the fact that you're even considering going back to them, seeing that everything is better with them, clear there's an imbalance here. Like one party hasn't glowed up. And that's not to say that if you're the party that hasn't glowed up, you're stagnant. I'm so happy I have my fan. Look at my fan, y'all. I won this. And I'm just so happy I have it because it's hot right now. And I'm getting hot talking to y'all. Anyway. If you glowed up and they didn't, then clearly you needed to get out of that relationship so you could focus on yourself. If they glowed up and even if you weren't stagnant, I feel like there's one party that really just shot up out of nowhere. It's like, why would you want to disturb that if you haven't had the same kind of growth? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying anybody's better than the other. I'm just saying there's clearly one party that has made more progress than the other. And it's not a race. It's just facts. Let's get these cards out the way. You guys are really blocking an opportunity for yourselves. Like a love opportunity for yourselves. Trying to make somebody from the past make sense. Let's get something weird today. I shuffle these cards. Okay. Spirit, can I get messages for the Virgo collective for November 2019? Spirit, what messages do you have, Jesus? Spirit, what messages do you have for the Virgo collective for November 2019? Spirit, what messages do you have for the Virgo collective for November 2019 to my shuffles? Spirit, what message? Oh, God. Messages do you have for the Virgo collective? Okay. Alright, guys. I got a lot of cards at once. Gotta spread them out. Okay. Alright, y'all. So we have the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Cups reversed, the Ten of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the Devil card, the Empress, and the Four of Swords. At the bottom of the deck here, we have the Knight of Pentacles right here. Is that glitter on there? I'm sorry. I was like doing art and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like glitter on my nail. Okay. So I'm actually getting that one party is like really, really healing. And the other party kind of got interrupted in the process. I think the Queen of Cups represents the person who is like really healing, and this is probably the person who is glowing up because they've been actively dealing with their pain. I do get a sense that they've been working harder. Okay, so what's happening with them is that they're working harder because of how painful this was. It forced them to focus on themselves and focus on the ways that they were emotionally sacrificing in order to be in a relationship. So because they started pouring into the things that they love, that emotionally made them happy, in the process of doing that, it was healing for them. I don't think the Knight of Cups, I think this is the party that hasn't been shooting up as quickly as the other party. I don't think this person has really been dealing with their feelings very well. Which is interesting. I actually feel like the Queen of Cups was somebody, I don't want to say over a giver. I do want to say this is probably the person who was most rocked by the breakup. Let's call it that, okay? Initially. Like, it was more painful and hurtful for them initially. They might have been the party that didn't want this to happen more than the other. Okay? So this is the party that glowed up. They're healing, they're doing things that are making them happy, and I feel like in doing the things that make them happy, it was a process. Like, that process in and of itself was healing. It was painful, because they realized how much they weren't giving to themselves, right? So they started giving themselves. It paid off. This party, I think the emotions hit you guys late. This is a party that did not glow up as quickly. Not saying y'all are bums, just saying it didn't glow up as quickly. They didn't really deal with their feelings at first. And now they're kind of stuck with them. I feel like they tried to continue on with their routine. And I think they tried to go about it the same way that the Queen of Cups did. In the sense that they were like, okay, well, I need to find things to do that make me happy. I don't think you guys had the same wounds to heal, though. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's always some element of mirroring in your relationships. Right, and that can get really dangerous. I don't want to say that in a dangerous way. Don't take it too far. But there's always some kind of mirroring. I feel like this person completely lacked self-love or completely lacked the ability to love themselves while loving somebody else. So they had to learn. I also feel like they weren't very confident. Like, they went into the relationship preparing to invest everything into the relationship. I don't think this person planned on doing that. I think this person did invest a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like, there was a lot of investment, emotional investment. This person might have found it more emotionally draining than this person in their own way. This person went in prepared to give way too much to anybody else without any intention of giving it to themselves. Whereas this party planned on keeping everything pretty balanced. But they were more emotionally withdrawn from their relationship because it was so taxing in other ways. Like, they kind of had to be the rock in the relationship. Because this person was just a bleeding heart, you know? And so because of that, I think when this person got out of the relationship, it was like a breath of fresh air for a moment. Like, it wasn't like, ooh, I'm so excited to be away from them. But it was like, it's hard, but I need this. I need this. And I think they thought, okay, well, now I can focus on me, do my thing. And they tried it out for a while. And then it was like, wait, I'm hurt. But really, it's like, oh my God, I'm really hurt over this. This person was devastated the minute you did it. But that's what, because they felt that pain immediately, they were able to work through it sooner. It's a delayed reaction for you. Now you're sitting here and you're thinking, well, with this transformation, look at this butterfly. With this transformation you've gone through, well, this is the person I wanted in a relationship. I wanted somebody who knew how to love themselves and invest in themselves, and I just wanted somebody who could be independent. Now you're doing that. Now you're happy. Well, that's what I wanted, right? But that was this person's journey. Your journey is different. Not completely, but it's kind of different. And you haven't gone on it. You have not really, not gone on it. I don't want to say that I don't want to make it seem like you guys are absolutely stagnant. Everybody has to go through their process. But you didn't go through this, oh my gosh, I have to heal right now. You kind of postponed it. So you haven't evolved to that level yet. Again, not about who's better or who's not. Just facts. The issue is here, one person has found their 10 of Cups, is in the process of finding it and building it for themselves. The other person is wondering why it hasn't come to them yet, right? Because you might have left the relationship like, okay, I have to kind of heal from that whole experience, but maybe you didn't necessarily consider it as something that was signaling growth for you. This person knew they had to grow. The minute everything ended and they were devastated, they were like, I have to heal and get better, grow. Whereas your approach was, all right, I'll get through it. Just give it time. Keep doing me, right? But it wasn't really a growth mentality. So now you're looking at the growth thinking you're worthy of somebody of their growth. And you're always worthy, but you have not done your own growth. Not like that. Not like the Queen of Cups. The Page of Pentacles, the Devil, the Empress, and the Four of Swords. I feel like you might have been in yeah, okay, that's where that community earlier. You guys might be copacetic. You might be in contact with this person. You might hear from them or see them. Or maybe you reached out and you realized as you were stuck, they glowed up and moved on. And I think it kind of scares, I don't want to say scares you, but I think it was a moment that for you made you say, oh God, I have a lot to do. Like they just did great and now I miss them and wow, they're doing amazing. And this is the moment that made you realize that you need to focus on your growth. But I don't know how you're going about it. This Four of Swords tells me that you're going to have to retreat in order to figure that out. I don't really know that you've meditated on it enough. There's the Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups is under that. Remember, this is the bottom of the deck. It almost feels like you're trying to take a methodical approach to something that's very deeply emotional. And it's not working. It's not that logic and emotion can't meet, but I don't feel like you're really getting a sense of what you need to be doing to get to this space for yourself. But you're triggered to figure it out. There's a lot of clarity I'm going to have to get here because I'm a little confused about how things are playing out. I'm not really interested in the other person. I feel like whoever's glowing up is glowing up just fine. But this Knight of Cups right now is just shook in their own lives and by this other person doing so well. And I think we need to look at what's going on with them. So let's clarify that first. This deck, I've already shuffled everything beforehand, guys. Just know that they're prepped. So can I get clarity for the Knight of Cups reverse for Virgo, November 2019? Can I get clarity for the Knight of Cups reverse for Virgo, November 2019? Can I get clarity for the Knight of Cups reversed for Virgo, November 2019? Interesting. Okay, I only got two cards. I got the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Coins. Yeah. Okay. This is telling me that you really thought you were good. I have the Three of Cups under this. Under that is the Queen of Swords. I really feel, Virgo, like you really thought this is for the ones who haven't glowed up, or, you know, the other party. This is the other party. You were expecting things to go well if you just went about them, if you just stuck to the plan, right? Stuck to the plan. You might have a lot of friends around you, just be generally very well supported. You might be stable, you know, like it just, this is like the life that looks like everything's cool, right? You might have decided on some goals you wanted to reach. Everything looked like it was going in the right direction. So it's kind of surprising looking at them and being like, well, you were a hot mess in this relationship, no shade, but you were. And you just skyrocketed, and here I am still trying to figure things out. Well, they got in touch with their emotions in a way that you haven't yet. In fact, you really thought you were good. I'm not getting bitter energy from the Queen of Swords, but again, that methodical energy, it was just kind of like, I'm good. I'll be good. You know, there's emotions to work through, but I'll be fine. Just got to keep doing what I'm doing. I have goals. I'm going to reach them. I'm going to work towards them. And you've been doing it all right, and it's still not clicking on an emotional level. It's just not clicking on the emotional level for you. They want me to move on. Okay, some of you guys also like expected things to work out sooner. So when you planned for what you needed to do, you basically assumed that what you were doing was enough to get what you wanted by now, or at least see it coming into form. Some of you guys set a number of goals and might be working towards them in different ways, but either you aren't fully seeing progress, or even if you are seeing progress, it's not emotionally fulfilling to you. And you're not understanding why. Like, it's only halfway emotionally fulfilling as you thought it would be. And I was just talking about this in another video. Was it Taurus? I think, where it's like, because you're using it, like, it was kind of like a coping mechanism for Taurus. And it might be a coping mechanism for you, but I think it was just a part of the plan. Like, I don't necessarily think you intentionally use it as a coping mechanism for being in a situation where you're unhappy. I think you use it like, okay, that's my plan. That's my game plan. I'm going to just make it out of this space. And it's almost like you didn't plan to deal with your emotions, really. You kind of planned for this to help you bypass them and just move on. Like, it really is quite unrealistic looking at it for face value. It's really unrealistic to expect that you're going to break up with somebody you really cared about and not have to deal with the emotions of it. But I really think that because you knew the things that would make you happy, it was kind of like the healing process was just kind of like holding you back. Like, it wasn't really necessary. Maybe because you were the one ready to leave this relationship, or if this is them, because of that, it was just kind of like, okay, well, that being said, like, sucks, don't love this, but it was time. Bounce back. You're not bouncing back. Let's look. What do I clarify? Someone's telling me to clarify the Page of Pentacles, and then I'm going to clarify the Devil. Now, the Page of Pentacles is kind of confusing me right now, and I don't know why. I reshuffled this. Awkward. Okay. Let's just start here. Spirit, can you please clarify the Page of Pentacles for Virgo 2019, November 2019? Please clarify the Page of Pentacles for Virgo, November 2019. I hope you guys aren't feeling offended. I'm not taking all those cards. I'm just not going to do that. Okay, that wants to stay down then. more. 5 then. Ooh. Okay, let's call that the last shuffle. Wow. Okay. I have the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the Empress, the Four of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles with the Ace of Wands at the bottom. Under that is the Four of Swords. Okay. This was, okay. Huh. This was the plan. That's what this is. This was your plan. We're not going to really deal with your emotions. Yeah, okay. Count my losses. Whatever. Game plan. This is what I'm going to do. It's going to work. So you plan out your strategy. You're planning to just attract everything that you want. Just do your work and everything's going to come to you the way it needs. So you're going to find the love that you want. It's going to come in really quickly. And then all it's going to be is making a couple of tough decisions about, what job you want to get or where you want to move or what you want to do and who you want to meet. It's just going to be a time of you making better decisions for yourself. But, that'll be the hardest thing you'll experience. You'll find love. You'll find your passion. You're going to be right on track where you need to be. And then you can relax, right? You can rest when everything has come together. Funny under that is the Ten of Wands. Under that rest. It's like you didn't even see just how problematic this plan was and how unrealistic it was. And you just thought you were going to breeze through it. You didn't expect that plan to lead you to realizing that you were actually not going where you wanted to go. You're actually quite stuck, for lack of a better word. I also think that this is that message or that, I want to say, discussion or meetup, whatever y'all had, that made you realize that they had surpassed you in a sense. But in terms of their healing, they surpassed you in terms of healing emotionally because you're seeing just how beautiful their lives are. And it looks so drastically different than what it did when they were with you that they're actually like really finding their happiness without you. They're really finding it. I don't think you're hateful towards them or necessarily jealous. I think it just threw you off. And you're kind of like, well, damn, like, why couldn't you do this before? And when you had to watch them glow up and be happy within themselves, then it kind of made you think, well, maybe, let me see if I still love them like that. Let me see if I could do something. Maybe I can, right? Now you're trying to turn something that was a friendship and that, even if it wasn't a friendship, things were copacetic, there wasn't any animosity. Now you're trying to think about that a little too much. It shouldn't even be on your radar because you left them for a reason, with good reason. And I just don't think that you have really ascended in the way that they've ascended. I do not mean that to be shady, y'all. I don't. I'm not trying to call y'all bums. Let's clarify. Okay. They want me to get a different deck. Let's clarify the Devil. Spirit, can I get clarity on the Devil for the Virgo Collective, November 2019? Clarity on the Devil for the Virgo Collective. Ish. Damn, it keeps coming out. That was the weirdest shuffle of my life. I know y'all barely saw it, but still. Okay. So we have the Six of Cups. We have the Two of Wands. Excuse me. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Five of Cups. And we have the Strength card. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. Under that is the Six of Pentacles. I don't think that, I think the reason why you guys went forward with this plan is because you guys didn't realize that there's actually a recurring theme that's happening that has shown up in your relationships before. If you've never been in a relationship before, there's a pattern there that you're missing that might, I think it's shown its head, maybe not in terms of relationships, but you definitely can trace it in your family. Or in your childhood in a less overt way. But in your relationships, period, even in friendships, I feel like this is something tracing back deep. And you went forward with this plan because you had no idea that there were recurring things, right? Overextending yourself is something that I'm getting. Poor boundaries is something that I'm getting. Okay. Overextension, poor boundaries, and not asking for what you need. You're very used to that. You're very used to compromising. Very used to compromising. More than you should. So you weren't getting what you needed in this relationship for a while. This is for the people who are just getting hit with these emotions. You weren't getting what you needed for a while, and it's like you're dealing with the pain of missing them, not realizing that you do miss them, but you've subconsciously been avoiding something a lot deeper than that. That's going to take a lot more healing. And the reason why it's coming up and the way it's coming up is because you manifested somebody new in your life. I'm telling you, if this is for you, you definitely want love in your life. And or have actively manifested it for yourself. And then are wondering, like, why is it so hard? What's this? Well, you have to learn a lesson to get the love that you asked for. The Nine of Wands and the Five of Cups, again, this is being frustrated because you don't know what's really hurting you. Here's the thing. Like, it's not like you're going to have this huge revelation all at once and everything about why you need to heal and what you need to heal is going to make sense, right? And I feel like because you don't have it, it doesn't make sense, there's no plan to it. It doesn't really seem to be advancing you. If anything, it seems to be stopping you and your progress. You really don't find the usefulness. This is so Virgo, oh my God. You don't find the usefulness in sitting and wallowing. You have no idea that in that wallowing, which is really just you sitting with your pain and dealing with it appropriately, you have no idea the kind of understandings that you're going to come into, the kind of revelations that you're going to get. You're going to realize that there's something much deeper going on, right? Because you're going to sit with this and you're going to be like, damn, why didn't that work out? Well, they just went and they got better. What's happening with them, right? Then it leads to, oh, well, they're happy, they're doing what makes them happy. Well, what makes me happy? Why haven't I been able to find happiness in relationships before? You have to go through that whole process. There's no shortcuts. And you thought you had one figured out. No, baby, no. Especially trying to manifest a love that you really want. You guys are trying to manifest a love that takes you out of dealing with the mess that you did before. Well, okay, if you can't recognize it, if you don't know what you need to not deal with this, to not deal with the same patterns that you've been dealing with, or the same kinds of people as you've been dealing with in your relationships. If you don't know what that is, you're not going to be able to recognize it when it comes. You will miss it. It will go over your head. More often than not, when you miss things like that, like you're not in the position of like, if you talking about, hey, soulmate, meet me at the grocery store, and you're not at the grocery store, how do you expect your soulmate to find you? It's like you have to get to that point where you're where you're at the place where you're ready to meet your soulmate. You're not there yet. You know what you want, you know what the end goal is, but you're not really there yet. You're not ready for that yet. You have a lot of healing to do. You have a lot of deeper understanding, and it's not going to be this methodical process. You really, this is telling me like, you don't even know your triggers. You don't even know your weaknesses. You don't know what you're dealing with. In fact, you sat here thinking you knew what to do, and it's left you going in circles. And you sit here confused, like, what's wrong with the plan? Well, baby, you have to go. You don't know everything yet, my love. You just don't know everything yet. Pain sucks for everyone. You cannot outsmart healing. Some of y'all needed to hear that, and that alone. You could turn on the video. Some of you all really need to hear that. You cannot outsmart pain. You cannot outsmart the journey of healing. It is a process. And Virgos are all about hard work. They'll work for what they want. But when it comes to that emotional stuff, it gets iffy. It's a little too much. That's not the way you do things. Okay, then stay in your little circle. That ain't my problem. This Hangman with this Six of Pentacles underneath is telling me like you really need to sit with this pain. You don't have you're finding ways of detaching, and it's keeping you in that same cycle of not having good boundaries, of overextending yourself, of not really ending up in situations where you're really happy. You're just, you thought you would be happy and you want more out of them, and you're settling for potential. You're too comfortable working for relationships instead of just asking for what you need when you need it. You're comfortable working for things. If something's not working out, you just see it as something to fix. If you see potential in somebody, but they're not living up to their potential with you, you're just like, oh, I can fix. It's a project. It's just a matter of putting in time and effort, right? But everyone burns out. And if you're not happy, you're not happy. It's going to come through. It came through when you broke up with them. Now you're sitting here like, oh, I miss them. Maybe it's because I needed time to appreciate them, or I just need them to get their thing together. Okay, you end up back with them, and I'm telling you that if you go back to this person, or if you're the person who glowed up and they come back to you, it's like they'll go back into that mode again. You guys were never meant to do the thing. Period. It was never meant to work out that way. It was always meant to be a lesson. That's okay. Because whoever you manifest into your life, I really feel like if you really manifest somebody into your life, like the next person is your person. I'm not speaking marriage over everybody, but this is long-term energy for most of you. If you really manifest somebody with that intention, it is that person. But you got to be ready for it. You got to be ready for it. Yeah, I don't feel a need to manifest that Four of Swords. Manifest the Four of Swords. Child. I don't really feel a need to clarify it. Not a need. I think I'm going to. If nothing falls out, nothing falls out. Clarity for the Four of Swords. Clarity for the Four of Swords for Virgo, November 2019. Yeah, I don't necessarily think I have to, but if nothing falls out, I'll know for sure. If something falls out, we'll look at it. Last shuffle. Oh. Yeah, nothing fell out, but the world's at the bottom of it. Under that is the Page of Wands. You have to really understand what you want and what's going to bring you fulfillment. That's going to take time in isolation. That's going to take time reflecting. That's going to take time sitting in that pain you've been avoiding. But you're going to find out what you need. You're going to find out what makes you tick, and everything's going to come back into balance for you. Period. All right, Virgo. I know y'all don't like talking about emotions. Waste of time. But we're here anyway. Okay? Some of you guys are going to manifest people in 4 to 6 months. Hold on. Yeah. There's some type of drastic change or like drastic thing that you need to get in motion first. And I feel like in healing, you're going to get more connected to that thing. And you're going to work towards it and manifest it. Or at least make a lot of progress on it. And it's like after you get to this point of fulfillment or after you reach a major goal, it's like the person, that's when the signal goes out. And it's like a month or two after that, somebody comes in. If it's like okay. Yeah, if it's a major goal, maybe it's an application, maybe it's a move, maybe it's you've been interested in something and now you want to take a class and you get into the class, or, you know, maybe you finish the class. Whatever the case might be, it's like you accomplish something big, you integrate it into your life as a part of your life, and you're feeling a lot more fulfilled. And then you'll be like, Some of you might not, I don't want to say you're going to forget that you manifested a soulmate, but I feel like some of you guys are going to be like, just kind of sitting around, like, not really giving it too much energy. Like, it might be like, yeah, I want that to happen, you know. And they come in and you're like, oh, okay. Good timing. I know 4 or 6 months seems like a long ways away right now. But it won't be if you're doing your work the way you're supposed to be doing it. Seriously. Even be 3 to 6 months for some of you. But it really depends on the person and depends on when you get started and when you understand what's going to make you happy and you work towards that. Okay? That being said, let's get some advice. Dang, I thought I was doing good. I thought I was spending less time on this reading than the rest of them. Man, whatever, man. Let me get clarity for the Virgo Collective. Clarity. Can I get advice for the Virgo Collective for November 2019? Advice for Virgo for November 2019. Advice for Virgo for November 2019. Advice for Virgo for November 2019. Okay. Excuse me. So I have rest and reconsider. This is like the 9 of Wands in the tarot deck. 5 of Wands, or challenging times in this deck. And then the 4 of Wands, joy and stability. The bottom of the deck, we have the solar plexus chakra. This is like all fire energy, y'all. This is pure passion. This is spirit. This is some powerful energy. Rest and reconsider is really, really what it sounds like. You really need to go into your isolation mode a bit and really take a chill pill and be okay with the pain. Don't see it as something that's holding you back from your progress. See it as something that's pushing you towards progress. I don't want you to necessarily look at it like, okay, have to sit down and heal today. You know, try not to make a plan out of it. Just flow with it. Even if you don't know if you're flowing correctly, as long as you're not forcing it to be something that it's not, you're okay. Okay? But you need to do that, and you need to let the process take the time that is meant to take. Some of you guys are going to be very confused during this process, so that's something to be aware of. This challenging times, 5 of Wands is actually about like conflict and stuff. This actually seems like a more serene interpretation of the card to me. But I think this is you trying to figure out what's, like, this is internal conflict. This is you trying to figure out what's going on, if this is working, if it's not, it's working. right? It's going to be a lot of tears and a lot of confusion, but it's going to make sense in the end. You don't need to try to make sense of it. It's going to do it on its own. So you have to cry through all that confusion, cry through all those blocks that are trying to make you figure things out early. Like, you just have to let it happen. Just let it happen. Even if you don't think you're letting it happen, as long as you're not trying to force it to happen, you're letting it happen just fine. Okay? I know this is rare for Virgos because y'all compartmentalize, and now it's like everything is getting messy. You can't compartmentalize your emotions. You can't put them in their little proper spaces. It's like everything is falling apart and it's a hot mess and you don't know where to start. Let it happen. Everything is happening naturally. Joy and stability, this is just reminding you that you are headed to what you want in all areas of your life, not just love, but especially love, you know? Solar plexus chakra, you're going to have some really deep healing to do. You're going to have to deal with the reason that you overextend yourself to others and having poor boundaries and not really knowing what is going to make you happy. You're going to get in touch with what's making you happy. This person, I mean, blessing. They're a blessing to your lives, even if they're not meant to have anything further with you. It's a blessing because honestly, like, it's because of them that you understood that you really had to figure out what happy looked like for you and not just do what you think is right to stay afloat. I hope this helps you, Virgo. I feel like this was a kind of a choppy reading. I hope it wasn't. I hope it resonated the way that was meant to. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope to see you in the next one. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe before clicking off. And yeah, give me your feedback. Interact with me on Instagram and Twitter at Honey Priestess. Any other information is below, and that will be it. I'll talk to you later, Virgo. Bye.